At their annual BlizzCon event in 2014, the wildly successful game studio Blizzard Entertainment showed off a new game they had in the works called Overwatch. And from that first reveal, it was clear the appeal of Overwatch resided in its cast of characters.
I think Overwatch is really interesting game. If you think about it, it has had several of these things these feminists have been going nuts about. Like first there was the controversy about the this character's Tracer's butt, that it's too sexual, the pose or something, and still this day I don't know if that original pose that caused the controversy was troll or not, because it was quite funny and quite odd thing that he was basically saying that he doesn't want his young daughter to that idolizes Tracer to see her sexualized way, and Blizzard was like, okay, we'll switch it to something else, and we were thinking already that it was boring, and we will change it, because actually, like, there could be a point that the original Tracer butt pose animation was kind of like a placeholder, because some of the other characters also have the same kind of winning pose or whatever. So if they were actually planning on updating the animation or the victory pose, then it was very kinda clever for Blizzard to say that yes, we will fix this for you, we will change it, because, well, first of all, I think they really thought about the diversity aspect. Like, there's a fat person, there is slender ninjas and whatever, like robots and everything in between, and dwarves and whatever, and even this kind of a male to female trans or whatever, something like that, or a girl who identifies as guy or something like that. I don't know, but very odd character. He will come in this video. But anyway, so they really I think, thought about that diversity aspect, and maybe they are kind of in the Blizzard positive way looking at these feminist issues or whatever. But then after that, there was some new skins that were showing some like Hindu god outfits or whatever, and that caused some kind of controversy. I never remember how that got resolved. And now this, and this is absolutely the most stupid thing to point out about Overwatch, but let's hear it.
A diverse assortment of heroes, each with unique traits and abilities. The roster revealed at BlizzCon included men and women, sentient robots, and super intelligent gorillas. However, for all the apparent variety and diversity in the heroes Blizzard showed off at the game's debut, there wasn't much diversity to be seen in the body types represented by the female heroes.
Well, let's see now how you pick and choose some examples to fit your narrative while completely avoiding to show some other examples in the game that don't fit into your narrative.
The male characters introduced that day included the towering knight Reinhardt, the sturdy engineer Torbjorn, the agile archer Hanzo, and the hulking simian scientist Winston, among others. The 5 female characters introduced consisted of the slender adventurer Tracer, the slender healer Mercy, the slender support character Symmetra, the slender sniper Widowmaker, and the slender but well-armored security chief Pharah.
Actually, I think they are lying here, because actually there are 2 characters that is missing from that I think are girls, or should at least be on the list, and there is this kind of because I've only played this at beta, so it can't be that they have been added, because they were in the beta before. So before the launch, I played with these characters, so I know 100% when the game launched first day. I didn't buy it, but it had already these characters. So there's this very strong-looking female or whatever, this kind of very odd like female who dresses up like a male and has muscular structure or something like that. And then there is this ice support character that can is a bit like a fat woman. So not very fat, but still would go against this narrative that they all have the same body type. And furthermore, how can you have different body types for women? Because if you would actually have a character that is very ugly and female, probably women would or feminists would make a big fuss about it, that oh my god, this game represents women as bad or ugly or immoral or whatever. So the safest thing for companies to do what comes to character design is make them that. But they've done in these examples that they took from Overwatch, but in Overwatch there are other female body types.
Overwatch was hardly alone in having all of its female characters share a similar physique. In Ultra Street Fighter 4, characters such as Dalsum, Hakan, E. Honda, Rufus, and Vega represent a significant range of male body types. Looking at the roster of female characters, however, while some may be a bit taller than others or have slightly larger thighs,
these are not the same body types at all. Like, this person is quite muscular. I think this is like the most mundane, normal looking, like she doesn't seem that she's like she has a bit of a belly and like normal human physique, and these others are then this is like a schoolgirl that has a very odd thighs. These thighs could match them with some of these, not for example here or I think here, but like here, these are a bit same, but otherwise there are very different body types here. So I don't understand.
Not one of them represents a notable departure from the slender body type that has been established as the standard of conventional female attractiveness. Similarly, when we look at the champions on offer in the hugely popular MOBA League of Legends, we see the designers employing a wonderful range of body shapes and proportions across dozens of male characters.
Dozens of male characters, like, are these even males? Like, this is some kind of animal. Well, maybe he's, I don't know. But this is some kind of another animal. These are actually like, I can be definite that they are males or whatever, and if they don't even look like human, who cares about the body type? Whatever, you can have, I think you should have a, if they are not persons you're drawing or whatever, designing, then I think if you draw a new kind of species or whatever, I think you can draw whatever type of body you want for them. I at least hope so. I can't promise this because these rules change, as you can see. But actually, this is interesting. You could never, I think, have a woman in this state, because feminists would call bullshit on that it's very misrepresenting women or whatever, because they are ugly and look bad and look horrible. So if you think about it, you don't have very many old women or very ugly women as main characters in video games. I think it's because there would be so big pushback from feminists if you would try to make that into a central thing in your game, or a big thing, because they think that you are just a woman hater if you do that, which is totally bullshit.
From the classic muscular warrior physique of Tarek, to the hefty beer belly of Gragas, to the cartoonishly disproportionate body of Dr. Mundo.
This Mundo, I play with him a lot. He is joke character, and I don't think feminists get jokes, so I don't think you can make a woman character that is a joke character that you are supposed to like kinda laugh at because they are just terrible or whatever.
There isn't any one male body type that is presented as the standard default male body type, and the value of these characters is definitely not connected to their sexual...
Well, if if you would remove all creatures here and just have, because there is in this League of Legends, there are enough characters to have human male examples, but this is of course when you pick the things that are very different body type. But if you would take like the human male characters, I would say that there are at least 5, and they would look pretty similar, I think. So that's pretty funny actually. So you can only get to this conclusion and these ideas represented here if you very much pick and choose what you show here, because it wouldn't make any sense if you would have all the data.
Sexual desirability. But when we look at the female heroes, there's nothing approaching the diversity we see on the male side of the roster. There are a few noteworthy
And I wonder why, like I said.
Variations from the standard. Illaoi is somewhat more muscular than many of the female characters. Jinx has smaller breasts, and there's the cute gnome-like Tristana. But the overwhelming majority of female characters make it clear that a slender figure with prominent breasts is viewed as the standard for female character design. Likewise, in Dota 2, male heroes can be handsome or comical, outlandish or grotesque, while female heroes are mostly relegated to being standard humanoid characters with conventionally attractive facial features. Where are all the female rock creatures, skeletal priests, and whatever this thing is?
Yeah, so that is a thing that you don't see many games that have females in kind of negative roles like ugly or old or such, at least not in main roles or as playable characters. And I don't know, I think there could be a case to make that. I think if you think about nowadays, more than like half of the gamers might be girls, or at least there are a lot more girls than they used to be, but girls who play these kind of Facebook games, mobile games, these kind of not very story driven, not very in-depth games, story driven games that I for example usually play only those. So the thing is that in those kind of games where you spend with the one character a story, I would say that yes, okay, there's Lara Croft and etc. There are counter examples, but that type of games usually have a youngish male hero, and I think it's to be easier to relate because most of the players who play that kind of games, like I don't know, Half-Life or Doom or I don't know, Assassin's Creed or whatever, most of those players are actually males. And young males.
This isn't just an issue in fighting games, MOBAs, and other titles that give players a range of characters to choose from. Female characters across the board are often limited to that same specific body type.
I should kill you.
Doing all right there?
Stay away from her!
Sure you want to let him go?
You are... Listen.
And this guy wants me to trust him.
It's as if male characters are free to embody whatever physique best communicates their personality or abilities, but when it comes to the designs of female characters, that kind of imagination and creativity often doesn't seem to exist.
It doesn't exist because people really are afraid of a backlash. Like, if a victory pose that is just like how you make the character move, but it's the same character, but it's only like a small amount of movement that character has in the game. When you play it, the most of the time you can't even see it. It's only after the match in the victory pose, if you happen to be the first one on your team or something like that. So my question is really this, that can big AAA companies, and why would they risk their reputation by putting some joke female characters or fat female characters, because they can be on the wrong end of some controversy and then they have to change things or that, or they can play safe and use the same type of or very smaller amount of body types that are usually in the playable characters. This might be true, but then again, I wouldn't at all count out the possibility that all these games have also female heroes with widely different body types, because they already did it with Overwatch. They left out 2 characters that would have been a very, very counterpoint to that whole narrative they're trying to fit. And when they have only 5 for their point that all women look like this, there's not so many women characters in the end in the Overwatch, but there are quite a few. So then if you have 5, but you have even 2 more examples that contradict this story, then I don't know if you can even make it into a narrative that makes any sense.
Rather than seeing such an exciting range of female characters, we mostly get the same body type over and over again, one designed to be sexually appealing to the presumed straight male player. This reliance on the same body type for so many female characters isn't just boring, it's harmful. It links our value as human beings within the culture to our desirability to men, and it reinforces our culturally influenced ideas about who gets to be considered desirable and who doesn't.
Only you think like this. No one who has even half a wit can think that looking at these pictures of pretty women, I then devalue this other human person because of this image I have been shown. You only think that people's values as a human beings are linked in some art or representation in media or whatever. That is super stupid, and like the fucking like perfect example of women having low self-esteem. Like they are so insecure about themselves that they are so jealous for the hot ladies in video games that when they look at them enough for their job, then they are so jealous for that body type that they are saying that, oh my god, this makes my value as a human being is now somehow less because this other picture is very sexy.
The problem is exacerbated by the fact that when we do see representations of women with different body types, they're often presented as a joke, as in Fat Princess.
Yeah, so fuck! Now you are complaining about that you have joke character that is woman and that they are used as a joke, or like Mundo is used as a joke in the LOL example, which was men. So now that you have, hey please, if you ever develop a game, if you ever think about this social justice controversy thing, that what you design and what you should avoid and whatever, then please Blizzard see this. First they want something, and then when they get something they complain. It will never end. You can always see if you have a beautiful woman, if you have an ugly woman, you can always think that you are being oppressed, whatever it is. You can just from fucking sentence to sentence say that we also want fat characters that are very fat in our video games because body positivity or something, and then when you get it you are complaining that it's horrible. It's horrible that they have a fat woman. What the fuck? Well, this just goes to show what is the number one rule, that never ask for forgiveness when this kind of shit happens to you. Like, that's the first problem, because when you show guilt or say you are sorry or that you've done something wrong, when you are accused for something, that you are sexist or racist or whatever, then if you admit that, then they can have your head, because then they can demand and demand and demand more before you are fired or your game is not sold anymore anywhere or whatever. So never apologize.
Or they're pathologized and presented as a twisted transgression of the established feminine ideal, as in the case of the evil lesbian psychopath Joe Slade in Dead Rising.
Yes, evil lesbian, yes, exactly. So now, whenever there is a new game, let's all write to the game designers and say that for body diversity we need a fat feminist that is ugly and unappealing, never shaves and has some kind of a shock color hair. Let's make every every game designer know that unless they do, we will very much complain about that they are not taking diversity into account and that game is sexist or homophobic or whatever we can come up. We can say it is Islamophobic game if they don't agree to this idea. No, wait, let's not do that. That's a horrible idea. That's very bad idea. If you thought about doing it just to show feminists, then, dear God, don't do it.
See just how shameless you are, you dirty little skank. Say hello to my little friend.
No, not again!
When the majority of women who populate these game worlds are designed from the same narrow template, the problem isn't just what we're seeing in games, it's what we're not seeing. The fact that fat women and women with different body shapes aren't featured in these worlds reinforces the false notion that these women are less valuable and less worthy of recognition than those women whose bodies come closer to matching the cultural beauty standard.
Again, you are only person who sees other person's values as something they can't have chance to change or whatever, or how they look or some superficial thing. Like, I must be racist because I'm white male, because most white males are racist or something like that, or we have a in-group bias to favor our own group instead of outside group. That everyone has this bias, but somehow we are only racist. And then these sexy women somehow devalue women as whole or something as their human value of their life. What the fuck? How about stop being jealous at the pretty pictures and move on? Like, I think the problem is that all of these videos are so patronizing and moralizing. Like, they are always complaining about some oppressive thing or something bad about the games. So, like you see from the example before, that first you say that you need a diverse set of body types for women, and then when you see a fat women in video games, you complain that they are very bad examples and somehow very, very horrible, like they are feeding cake to a woman. Decide what you want. Do you want to eat the cake or save it? But more importantly in this instance, stop being jealous to the pretty pictures. It makes no sense. Grow a backbone. It's not that horrible. Your value is not linked to some pictures in some games. It has no one thinks that it somehow talks about your value as a human being. This is absolutely ridiculous.
These limitations on creativity when it comes to female characters don't stop with body type. We also don't see the same range of ages commonly represented as we do with male characters. It's not unheard of to see male soldiers, fighters, and heroes who appear to be in their 40s, 50s, and even older.
We already talked about this. Like, if you would start designing this Last of Us and it would have a unappealing woman character, like basically reverse the sexes on the characters or something, then it might be problematic. Like, who knows these days? Who fucking knows? They just come up with this shit as they go along and basically think about it this way. If you are designing a game and you now make old character because they said that they would like it, I think it will depend like very much on luck if they are still with it when you are close to finishing the games few years from here, because like if they don't have much games to complain at the moment, then they will probably start to pick that you have an old unappealing woman character, so you're representing women as these hateful old ugly bitches or whatever. Like, maybe they don't do it, but they can do it, because if you let this pass, if this is okay, then you can complain and you can complain. Whatever you do, it's never okay.
Right.
Playable female characters, on the other hand, are almost always young, and it's for the same reason that so many of them have the same body type. They're intended to be sexually appealing to straight male players. The result is that we have plenty of representations of male characters who communicate that men can continue to be active, vital, and powerful over the course of their lives. Meanwhile, the absence of older playable female characters wrongly suggests that women's value is tied directly to their beauty and youth, and that when they're older, that value is all used up.
So actually, let's make some kind of egalitarian issue here. So, what if life represents art or mirrors art or whatever, so that maybe we have these people who have had military training and maybe been even a soldier in their former life, maybe most of them are men in game because most of the people who fight wars are men. Oh my god! So maybe you should make a law, try to get that women are also have to go to the war and have to go to the draft. Women have to be drafted, they have to go to the army for half a year, whatever it is, what the time is. They have to do it like men. And maybe after that, we will have more female old warriors because they are actually very well represented in the army, and if they want to make a realistic war game, like they very much go for realistic war games. In many games are trying to be like somehow realistic and realistic weapons and realistic setting and whatever, then change the setting and you will have what you have. So just put all women in the army, everyone, because like also if you haven't gone when you were 20, then you can go now when you're 50 or 60. All the women to army and you'll fix it in one night.
There aren't many good examples of prominent positive representations of women with different body types in major contemporary games. In Life is Strange, there's the minor character Alyssa, a classmate of Max, the protagonist.
I didn't know you were a sci-fi geek like us. What's your favorite?
In Assassin's Creed Syndicate, there's Agnes McBean, owner of the train which becomes the hero's base of operations.
Then may I present to you Agnes and Bertha, Lady and Locomotive.
And in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Kreia is a great example of a capable, powerful, older female character.
I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine.
Let's go back to Overwatch for a moment. Since that initial reveal, a few female heroes have been added to the roster. There's Mei and Zarya.
These characters were in the beta. I've never bought this game, so these were from the start up, but why you didn't bring them up was because they don't fit in your narrative. And I think this is also interesting, like how to break this stereotype. So if you have like a little, if you have some defects on the women, so to say, like that is interesting, but like if you make them ugly and unappealing, it's bad because you can't kind of represent it. But here Overwatch wants to be brilliant by being so diverse in these characters, so being a little bit more fat or maybe even a lot more fat is okay because body positivity, and looking like this is okay because and appealing, I guess, because whatever, trans positivity or whatever. Like, so these are both issues that feminists bring up, that they should get more understanding and they should be more accepted in the society. And these are also the aspects that are chosen in this game, because you can't make them too ugly basically. You can't make them unappealing in other ways than these that are chosen by feminists, that they are not actually defects. They make you better. They make you more desirable. I've done a video about the bikini bodies, but anyway. So think about that. It's a brain twister.
Zarya, both of whom have body types that are notably different from those of the originally announced female characters.
They were from the start.
Anna, reporting for duty.
And more recently, Blizzard announced the game's next hero, Anna, who's both an older woman and a woman of color. These characters are welcome and encouraging additions, but really they're just a start. Game developers need to continue actively working towards creating the same range and diversity of female body representations that we see among male characters.
No, they really don't. like this proves this video that they will always continue complaining, and you really shouldn't do anything based on that if you have any fucking sense. But then again, probably you don't. Probably you just wait for this girl to say something, and because you are feminist lapdog there designing the games or whatever big companies that put them out, then you will make all these changes they are asking, and then they'll keep on complaining, but you know, whatever. You will feel stupid and you will lose money, but at least you don't get to do your original plan, and you don't get to do the kind of character and story that you always wanted. So think about that.
When female characters' bodies are liberated from the need to uphold narrow, limiting cultural beauty standards, the resulting range of representations can not only make games themselves more interesting, it can encourage us to see all women as the desirable, valuable, autonomous, fully human individuals that we are.
No one thinks that people's value as human beings is linked to fucking pictures. No one thinks it matters how you see or feel your picture. Like, I mean, I guess I now understand why they want all these minorities and you have to have this token gay in a movie or TV series. I mean, if you believe that your value as a human being is dependent on if some character has this token character that was not originally planned in the storyline or has no place there, but has to be now fitted somehow, and the story still makes sense because you have to have every ethnicity and every sexuality in every series or something like that. Well, good luck, but like it is bullshit. Your value as a human being is not linked to any of that. So that was that, and thank you and goodbye.